want to dive right into today's topic, which is really about developing your dream client. Two very important things about this is if you don't know exactly who your dream client is and you don't have the exact right offer, they will not marry together. Meaning if you know exactly who your dream client is, but you don't have the right offer, it won't work. But if you have the right offer and not the right dream client together, it still won't work. It's having both of those together to marry them and then getting that offer in front of enough people. Does that make sense? That is the crux of everything about what we're doing, especially in the online world. But it also works offline too. When you're speaking super clear and super direct about the problems or the pains that you can solve for who you are here to serve, and then understanding how to get that offer in front of them, it makes all of the difference. So out of everything, just take that, embody that part of this message. So the other two pieces of this that we're going to run into, that we're going to talk about today, is I'm going to give you a head start here at the end of this. I'm actually going to give you some other worksheets, which I will upload into the Facebook group. And do you guys remember all how to get there? Jennifer, I know this is the first time, I don't know if the last time, but I'm going to show this to you real quick. So let me just go get on here. Everything that I do, pardon me. So let me hit share. And we are having some awesome conversations with the group today. So everything I put is underneath this more section here. For you guys, it might be underneath this more section here. When I go put it in, this is where I actually upload it. But inside of there, I actually loaded the Dream Client worksheet inside of there. So you guys always have access to that. My design isn't the greatest because I'm not a great designer, but it doesn't matter. And that's an important point I want to bring up. What this is really about, this is really about speaking very clearly to who your dream client is. So I'm going to share the Dream Client worksheet. This is something that I wish I had back in the day because it really brings some clarity up. Now, this one's specifically for women, but it can be used for both men and women. And I will put examples of my dream clients, both of them in here. Now, something else about this dream client, I'm going to move this over here. Can you guys see the dream client? There's a picture of a woman in black and white. Okay, cool, thank you. So, two things. I'm going to give you a head start at the end of this to give you a little bit of insight. Do you guys remember when we talked about Dorothy, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, right? The 4 archetypes. I'm going to give you a worksheet in here that breaks each one of those down. It's not something that will blanket everything, but it gives you a great insight to who you're wanting to work with, right? So if you're wanting to work with a nurturer, who is the Tin Man, if I only had a heart, there's certain needs and challenges that they have that's kind of overarching. That gives you a bit of a fast start. What you go through is you go through each one of those, and I'm going to give you all of them, right? So it's important to go read all of them. Because how you can actually use that is you could literally give that tool to who you're working with and have them choose who they are. Does that make sense? Remember when I had you guys choose who you were, right? We had some directors, which was Christine in the room, right? We had some nurturers. We had some, Tiara, you were a nurturer. Let me see if I can call this. I know exactly who, Jennifer, I'm telling you that you're a nurturer as well. And of course, Gabriella, you and me are promoters. We're high energy. We're all over the place. We're salesmen. We're very, we're the Cowardly Lion. We're extremely emotional, about how we do things. So having that knowledge and understanding that is you can literally give that to the person that you're talking to. And then you can understand exactly how to speak to them. Is that making sense? Because if you're a nurturer, I'm going to talk in the language that you understand so I can learn again. We come back to that whole communication piece. That's a head start. I'm going to share all that with you. I will put that inside of the Facebook. But let's get back to the meat and potatoes of how to actually create your dream client. So in here, the things we're going to talk about is how you build your relationship, because it's not about you, it's about them. One of the biggest problems I run into is when I'm working one-on-one with clients is they see themselves and they put themselves in the shoes. You really need to get yourself out of your own shoes and put yourself in the shoes of the person that you're here to serve, and really be thinking about what they're going through, their needs and challenges. The whole reason of doing that is so that you can create the perfect offer for them. Without knowing who they are first, you can't create the offer. Your offer is something that we will talk about in another training. Obviously, I'll make another worksheet, but I want to come down this. So again, this is inside of Facebook, How to Create Your Dream Client. I literally went and found a picture of somebody who I would picture to be my dream client, and I'll show you exactly how I found that particular picture. But the objective of this is to brain dump ideas of what your dream client man, or I should put woman and man, because remember this works for either or, but I'm going to put both of them in there, both of mine in there, and this is constantly flowing. So the whole idea is to let this stuff flow. There's no right, wrong, or different way to actually do this. It's just the physical act of doing it, because the whole goal behind all of this is to understand with complete clarity about who it is you are here to serve. And when you understand exactly who it is you are here to serve, then you can have that conversation with them everywhere you go. Because when you enter the conversation inside of their head and you turn their inner critic into an inner coach. If you guys remember Christine, right? When we were doing the training, she talked about, because she's done so many sports, she understands about turning the inner critic into an inner coach. When you empower somebody that you're here to serve and you turn that inner critic into an inner coach, then you know you're speaking to them. That makes sense? Cool. All right, so it's always going to come back. So the whole point of all this is just to flow. Just let things get out on paper, write it, rewrite it. So you literally write the sentence and then you rewrite it. So let me give you an example here. You help who do what? You guys remember talking about that? You help who do what, right? So, and I underline these. I help, and I just made this up today, by the way, as an example. I help women who have been mentally abused. I help women who have been mentally abused love themselves again without having to spend thousands of dollars on therapy, so that they can start enjoying their daily life and spend time with their family. The key words of that is I help who without them doing what, so that. Does that make sense? So it's 3 parts. You're speaking very clearly. I help women who have been mentally abused love themselves again without having to spend thousands of dollars on therapy, so that, which is the benefit, which is the payoff of why they would want to do this. Super important. So the so that is a benefit. And we're going to dive a little bit into that here deeper. So what I did, and what would behoove you to do is write the sentence out, copy it and paste it, write it out, copy and paste it, tweak it, write it out, copy, paste it, retweak it. Making sense? Out there, right? It's just flushing this out. All right, so here's where we start taking some of the actual actions to figure out who Carrie is, right? So Carrie Smith is the name that I came up with. Fictitious name, not somebody that I actually know, but it's a fictitious name. She's a nurturer. She's a nurturer because that's generally who I work the most with out there. I work with everybody, but it's generally predominantly nurturers. So I know that's who she is because I went through that first step of stuff. What does she look like? What does she believe in? And inside of the online program that you guys all have access to, Jennifer, do you have access? Let me know if you don't have access to the online program yet. I can't remember if you got that. Send me a message though. But in the online program, there's literally a section that is called I Believe, and it's an I Believe section that would behoove you to go through. It's an exercise and it has a video and it's a bonus. It's bonus number 3 or bonus number 4. And it literally allows you to go through and flesh out what you believe. Because ultimately, when we come down to boiling down using our truth and our core genius and we marry those two, truth and core genius and we marry those two, it's about your truth. It's about what you've come through, right? It's about the experiences that you've had so that you can help other people that are right behind you. Margaret Packard said in a training, who are you lifting up while you're climbing up? Meaning that I picture a ladder. A ladder, when I first heard that, I closed my eyes and I pictured myself climbing up a ladder. I literally realized that I could help somebody that was 1 or 2 rungs behind me or below me, and somebody who's 1 or 2 rungs above me could help me. Me trying to help somebody who's 3 or 4 rungs below me, or somebody trying to help me 3 or 4 rungs above me, it's going to be pretty hard to do. Could they drop a rope down and help me up? Of course. But the whole point of sharing that is because the people that you're here to help and here to lead are literally right behind you, which is the beautiful part of all of this. That's the action part and getting started. You don't have to have all of the answers. You just don't have to have them. You just have to have your truth and your core genius and bringing those together. So for me, I believe that starts with, what do I believe? So that bonus in there will be huge to help you flesh that out. And that means you can start understanding what she believes. And I'm actually going to show you my dream client here in a second, what it looks like, so you can see how in depth I got with that. Are they single? Is he or she single? Are they married? Are they divorced? Are they heart-centered? Or are they not heart-centered? Are their parents divorced? Are they still alive? Do they have a great relationship? And these are just examples of what I did. Again, you're going to have my full one in there, but it's really diving into each one of these sections and flushing it out. And when you meet with somebody, or you talk with somebody out there that you doing some coaching session on, whether it's free or not, or it's paid, or when you're in your yoga class and Gabriella, they come up to you and they ask you questions, right? They're gonna make mental notes of what they're asking you, or what they're sharing with you, because they're literally sharing with you their challenges. They're sharing with you the things that they believe in. They're sharing with you the books that they read, right? Which is the next section. What books has she read? For me, when I wrote this list out, it was The Alchemist by Paul Coelho. Infinite Possibilities by Dooley. You know what? I just threw People Magazine in there. I don't know. Maybe you guys read People Magazine. I have no idea if you don't. But it's just thinking about what are the things that they normally read, because then you can connect with them on that, right? What's the next thing? Music. She loves this music. Yeah, that's a funny sentence. So she loves this music, right? For me, it's Knock-On Medicine for the People. For us who went down to Envision, right? Xavier Rudd. She loves flowing. She loves dancing and flowing in life. So just think about these type of things. This is the next part. So this first part is all super personal. These first things are super personal. What makes her her? What is her beliefs? What does she love to do? What is the things she loves to spend her time doing? Does she do yoga, right? The next thing we start diving in is to more of the 2 whys. Why does she do what she wants to do, right? What's her human why? What is the thing? Is she reading that every morning? Is she connected to the human why? And of course, we talked about this earlier, right? People's favorite radio station. What's in it for me? So example, wants to change the lives of the people. She wants to change the lives of the people, she touches, right? That's what she wants to do. Or maybe not. I'm just giving this example. Personal why, wants to travel the world and enjoy life. Making sense? Right? Pretty straightforward. That's the beauty about this. It's all straightforward, guys. This is not super crazy hard mental work. It's just the physical act of actually doing it and becoming clear about it and just adding to this list. That's why I put these breaks in here. Again, the formatting's off a little bit. So what type of entrepreneur or worker or employee are they, right? So for me, it's wellness and solo entrepreneurs, holistic people like you ladies, right? Chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, basically anybody who works with the mind, body, and soul, who wants to grow and scale their business on and offline. The online piece is a piece of business. It's not all of the business. When you are super clear about who you're here to serve and the offer that you have, when you're speaking that with complete clarity, offline, you still attract people. I get most of my clients offline. I just do. That's how it works. I get some from LinkedIn. I get some from the phone. It's all over the place. Most of my clients come from referrals and talking to people out in the world. That's why it doesn't matter what your message is. It's when it's clear and it's congruent across all things and you're speaking to it constantly. And when you do that, you literally brand yourself. You are the go-to person that they will think about when they have this particular problem or they know somebody who has the particular problem. Super, super clear. So what type of entrepreneur? Are they startup? Are they beginning? Are they employee? What is the problem they're having, right? So is she great at what she does? If you're working with entrepreneurs like I do, this question applies, right? Is she great at what she does? Has she built her existing business or word of mouth? Is she a hard worker? Is she constantly hustling? These are things for mine. For you, it's about asking the same question, but just tweaking a little bit. That makes sense? Cool. Desires. This is super, 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 super important. It's their desire of why they want to up level her status? What is it inside of her, besides having the transformation that you're creating in her life? What is it that she desires to actually up-level her status? It's to feel happier, right? That's for an example. But it's also to know that, so when she walks into a restaurant or she goes and hangs out with her friends, she feels empowered. She carries herself differently, right? That's a different level in status. This one, is that making sense out there? You guys? Okay, cool. Super important to understand. We all want to up-level our status in life. You know, it's kind of like we all want to take our pictures with movie stars, right? Because it's super fun and cool to do. Tiara, you're in the mecca of it out there, right? So we take pictures. It may be a little so-so. Not too, that's right. You're up north. Pardon me. But we all want to take pictures with movie stars when we see them, right? Because it's super cool and it's a fun thing to do and it's exciting and it like makes us look cool, right? That's the part of, that's the human side. Like, I look cool because I met so-and-so. That's a small thing, but that's up-leveling the status. Everybody wants to up-level their status. Maybe it's to buy a new car. Maybe it's to eat at better restaurants, right? To go eat at Tiara's restaurant, which is super high-end, right? Big difference eating McDonald's and Tiara's restaurant. Huge difference, right? So that's a status thing. Nothing wrong with it, but it's like, how do they want to up-level their status? Again, just get in and take the action and start moving forward. False belief patterns. I want to talk about this for a second. This is something that is probably one of the trickier things to actually figure out, but super important. Meaning that I had a new client where I was talking to her about a week ago, and I should say not new client yet, but I was talking to her about services and how I can help her out and help her bridge her gap, right? And one thing she said to me I thought that was really interesting is she said that she was nervous about niching down, about figuring out exactly who she's going to help because she has a 6-figure business and she doesn't want to like leave anybody out of the thing. She doesn't want to leave anybody out, right? That's a false belief. Just because we're narrowing down who you're here to serve doesn't mean you're not going to attract other people. Make sense? Super huge thing to understand. Same thing for you guys. You niche down. It's called your target is not your market, because if you're going for your target here, reality is you're probably going to end up over here somewhere when it's all said and done. That doesn't mean you don't still attract these people out here that your services, guys or girls. There's many people out there that just attract people. When people show up and they feel your energy and they understand who you are, they absolutely 100% will work with you. It does not matter. But it still matters about getting clarity about it in the first place. A guy I spoke to the other day, Matt Hutchins is his name. He's like, he does the cryptocurrency or something crazy like that, right? But he's like, man, I loved how crystal clear about who you are and what you said. I said nothing about helping people with cryptocurrency. It's the clarity that people understand and they see from that. Here's the next thing. What is their biggest struggle, right? What is their truly biggest struggle? Negative self-talk, can't lose weight. It's just drilling these down. What are their biggest challenges, right? A struggle is a little bit different challenge. A challenge is, you know, she thinks she doesn't have enough time to do the work. The time is working, her time she is working, she's working into the ground, not doing that. Let's just get rid of that one. But the reality is the biggest thing I find out there, guys, is most people don't think they have the time to do the work. We all have a million things pulling on us, a million things pushing us, right? Those things are happening out there. The reality of it is that's one of the biggest things you're going to run into. The reality is we choose the things that we decide to put our time on. That's just one of them. Another challenge, Tiara, you have kids, right? You got to run kids here. You got to do it this way. That's a challenge. So how do you, what are the challenges that your specific dream client is struggling with out there? As we're almost wrapping this up here, guys, how much by when, right? When does she want this result or this material thing to manifest itself? When do they want to have this result they're coming from? And I really stress the word result here because a result is something that they're looking for. They may not perceive it as a result, but it's asking them literally. I ask people now when I first get on with them, what is the result that you want to see have happen? What do you want to get out of our time together? Because they're here and they want to get here. The goal is to figure out what is the gap and how do you bridge that. Make sense? You bridge that by starting here. What is Carrie missing? For me, it's crystal clarity about who she is here to help. It's about now, I've noticed that a lot of people I'm working with right now, they don't even have a package, but yet they're making money They're doing a lot of one-on-one stuff, which is a beautiful thing, but they don't even have packages, or they don't have an online program. The other thing I'm noticing too is that their message is not congruent across all of their platforms. You don't have to be on social media everywhere. But what's nice to have is when you do have those things, at least your message is congruent across everything, right? So this is my last part that I love about it is let Google tell you. So what I did is I took all this information, which I'm constantly working on, and I fleshed that out, and I just put some stuff in here that I like, right? Believes in gods, blah, 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 whatever me. And then I literally cut and paste that, and I put that into Google just to see what it would come up. I put her name, I put her age, and literally this is the picture I came up with, right? So that tells me that this is who I'm going after, and her name is Carrie. By the way, this girl's name is Carrie Smith, whoever she is. I have no idea. Right? I just made it up, and this is the first girl popped up. And I was like, this is who I want. This is exactly who my dream client is, right? So, and I don't know her, but it's just a picture I found on Google. So literally, I just put this in here. Make sense, guys? Makes a lot of sense. So this is the first step. I'm just going to show you this briefly here. Can you guys see what I'm showing you guys? Sorry. Oh, that's a real bummer. Okay, I'm going to show you real quickly here. This is my dream client guy. It's the same format, right? It's the exact same thing about what I'm doing. But when I come back over to the dream client girl, the biggest struggle, the challenges, by when, what is Carrie missing, right? And then let Google tell you. Then I literally put it in Google, right? And it's being crystal clear about this. This is just a brief thing about my dream client guy. You guys will see this in here. It's just more formulated here, right? I just kind of threw all this stuff in here. I still had to ask those questions, and I have not updated this dream client guy since I created this format. So what I will go do is I will go literally add the things in there for these sections of like, what is he missing? And I'm getting that feedback from the women and the guys I'm out there serving and I'm talking to because they're giving me the answers because I'm asking them the questions. Make sense? But then it allows me to formulate this. It allows me to talk to them. So let's come back here. Any questions? I want to open it up for questions right now. Any questions about the dream clients and how you figured that out? Go ahead, Gabriella. You are unmuted.
So, I don't know, it's kind of like a share, but yeah, if you have any insight, like I have been finding out that just in my particular case, I've been helping a lot of guys.
Okay.
So,
cool.
but it's like they will tell me like that was actually where not all, it's been a process, but like the other day, one of them, we were like chatting some, it's like you're like a life coach, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I do, sure, whatever. and then I was like, okay, like people are seeing this in me already, so it's freaking on me, like just let it out. And so I'm actually getting the answers from them, not even asking yet, but yeah, I'm like, it's just funny how it is unfolding, but it's like I'm not so sure what else can I do to kind of like get more and more insights about it, and I'm just letting it be.
So that's a beautiful thing, and it's because you're taking the action, which is by far the most important thing, period, is to be taking the actions. So now it's like mentally taking those notes and having your phone by you, and I just speak a lot of voice notes into my phone, like this is your best friend. I just got done talking to Mark. Mark shared this with me. You take that information and you come back here and you plug it into like this worksheet. So you can start having clarity, right? So this worksheet, I'm going to change a couple things. I'm going to re-upload it. I'm going to upload it to the Facebook group again, and then print it out, and then you can start specifically asking these questions. Pardon me. You will now have a bunch of things. I think there's 10 or 12, 15 categories in there, right? So next time you are talking to this person, you can specifically ask them, what is the biggest challenge you're having? What's the biggest problem you're having, right? And so that you start getting more and more feedback. Hands down, you're taking the action. That's a beautiful thing. Now start being very specific about what you're doing with that information. Right? Because what happens is I found out for myself, and I believe this to be with most people, is we have these ideas and they come and they just sit in their head and they run around. Until we get that idea out of our head and on paper, then we can't allow another idea to come in, because it gets too filled up in there, right? That's the idea of writing these things down and flushing them out. So that way you can come back and look at it and be like, okay, I recognize that I did, like the false belief with the woman I was talking to. She believed it. She's like, oh my goodness, if I start niching down, I'm going to get rid of all these other people I'm here to serve. It's absolutely the exact opposite. You niche down, you speak very, very clearly to your tribe, and then other people outside of your tribe, they'll go, I want to be part of that tribe. I believe that Gabrielle can help me. I believe that Tiara can help me, right? So hopefully that makes sense.
It does.
Cool. Any other questions? The bonus is dive into that I believe exercise, because it's like a 35-page report. Sounds a little monstrous, but it's the same thing. What do you believe? It fleshes out all major areas of life, and it will be a great starting point, because you can start then connecting that to your dream client in here. The last thing is I want to share with each of you out there is that, part of what came from me and my mom today, and actually out there talking, was the fact that being frustrated and angry about our past and what are we holding on to. And I firmly believe that this is the path that I chose to come down here and live on this planet. I believe my spirit did that. I believe I picked my parents and my stepfather to teach me the lessons and the things that I needed to learn in order to be able to show up and be who I am. That stuff, I think, is so important and so beautiful. And if you're willing to really embrace that, even though sometimes it's super uncomfortable, and I get it, and willing to share that, then that's when you really create that emotional safety and that space to be able to help others out. And to me, that's what a leader is. You don't have to fix the world. It's not part of it. It's just, how do you lead yourself, and how do you lead the people you're here to serve? And you do that by showing up and taking action, whether you're here or you're watching this or you're watching a re-live. I love my brain. So thank you.
All right, everybody. Last thing here. I love the words, I am fast. And let me tell you why those words are on here, because I learned this great little thing from Mr. Jim Kwik, and I want you to keep reciting this in your head. I am fast, because what does the I stand for? It stands for intention. And no matter what you do, there's always an intention behind it, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. Whatever you give intention to, you give it attention, and then the energy flows and action takes place. So be super aware of that. What does the A stand for? The A stands for action, because the universe rewards action. The more action you take, the more feedback you get, the more the universe understands that you are going after exactly what you want, and it conspires to help you out. You become what they call a reverse paranoid, or a paranoia is what it's called. What does the M stand for? Momentum. Super huge. When you have momentum going like you have right now, keep that ball rolling, because once you stop, it's super hard to ever get the momentum going again. I'm sure you've experienced that. What does the F stand for? Feedback. That is the breakfast of champions, is feedback. And when you take action, you do get feedback, and then it's just adjusting accordingly. So keep moving forward with that. What is A stand for? It's advocacy. Share this with your biggest cheerleaders. Share it with your mentor, which is myself if you bought this program. Share in the Facebook group, because those people are there to be your biggest cheerleaders. That is the one thing we are all missing, is the people that are really here to help us move forward in life, our tribe, our community. So share with your biggest advocates. If you have somebody that's trying to put you down, or dream killers is what I call them, right? Just don't share this stuff with them. Share with the people that are here to support you and push you forward. What does the S stand for? Always keep in mind about who you're serving. The biggest problem we all mistake, including myself, is we let our monkey mind and our thoughts get in the way. But when we slow down and put intention towards those we're here to serving, we keep our mind focused on that one client avatar. Who is that person? What is their name? What are the thoughts they're going through? What are the things that they are struggling with that you can help them out? When you keep that in mind, who you're serving, it really allows you to be super clear in what you're doing. And what does the T stand for? Teach. That is the fastest way to learn something and really embody it, is to actually teach it to other people. So teach this to, again, go share on the Facebook group. Send me an email back. Whatever you do, teach it to somebody, your friends and family around you. You can email me at Otherwise, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm honored, I'm grateful, and I'm super excited that you were here. Keep rolling forward. If you have anything, you know how to get hold of me. Otherwise, make it a great day. Take care. Aloha.